Democrats, who are once again losing their minds over Doge this time, might want to take a lesson in the history of the department, where it came from, right, Mercy?
This is fascinating. When President Trump took office 3 weeks ago, he didn't just create the Department of Government Efficiency out of the thin air. He renamed an office that already existed, the U.S. Digital Service, which was housed within the Executive Office of the President. The USDS was created by Barack Obama in 2014 to fix the Obamacare website. Obama picked an administrator, making it a political appointment. The department then becoming a left-wing advocacy group. When Trump first took office in 2017, he reclassified the office rather than eliminate it and switched the top job from a political appointment to a career position. But according to the Daily Wire, USDS staff used the office to sabotage the Trump White House from the inside, hiring people who worked in the porn industry, as well as transgender activists who focused a large chunk of their work on DEI and left-wing activism. Biden changed the USDS back to a political office, granting his appointee waivers, exempting her from ethic rules. So it was, in fact, Democrats who set the table for Doge. Jason, I was so fascinated reading this article, this Daily Wire article, because it did provide the background of this U.S. Digital Service Office that obviously seemed like Trump didn't take advantage of in the first administration. And quite frankly, when I was there in the White House, I had never really heard of the office. So do you think it's smart to go back in making this office into a political office?
So the question to me is Doge in the government or is it outside of the government? Because I keep hearing it's outside of the government, and now we're saying that its roots are in the government. So which is it, is the thing? And, I think if you're going to do that and it's going to be part of the government, I'm sure Elon has security clearance, but all of these other members who have access to our information, looking at the Treasury, they don't have them. The 19-year-old kid who's a college student who's looking at everybody's or has access to everybody's information hasn't gone through the process that other members of our government have. And I think that is really problematic. That's why a judge is putting a stop to some of these things.
Well, in the meantime, until the case is being heard and when the other judges picked. But Tiana, I find this fascinating. You dig deep into U.S. Digital Service. It is the craziest of the crazies part of this group. And I am shocked that the Trump administration didn't discover this early on in the first term. And now it's Doge. It's really, truly Doge, where you're putting your political appointees in place.
Yeah, I mean, again, as we've talked about, the risk of all the hyperbole in the first term is that now the second term, now that Trump actually knows what the hell he's doing, now you really get to see him in action. So I hope you enjoyed round one. That was just the dry run. Elon, so he is technically a special government employee. And what that means is he has 130 days where he can operate in this context, does not need to divest from private industry. There's heavy precedent for this. Scott Atlas, during the pandemic, was one of Trump's advisors. Huma Abedin, during Obama's presidency, retained this status. And I'm pretty sure she got one of the exemptions because she also had one of the extensions. So it can be longer than 130 days.
Yeah, Anita Dunn is one of them as well.
Yeah, and also just one other point with this. So the Doge staffers, my understanding is that they actually are special government employees, including the one that's handling all the Treasury data. He has been appointed Fiscal Assistant Secretary, which is a long-standing position at Treasury. If you don't like that they're political appointments, maybe take away all this executive power from unelected bureaucrats and have Congress take it back.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.